योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यान् स्वहस्तचरण श्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्न दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्न अनन्तचिन्मात्रमूर्तये स्वानुभूत्येकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे स्वानुभूत्येकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे. My prayer unto the Lord. Who is both in the form of all the manifest name, forms and functions in their entirety. It's the knowledge of Ishvara alone which is manifesting as idam sarvam. And when I go one step further, that knowledge of Ishvara, which is manifesting as the sight, the seer, the seen, the heard, hearer and hearing, the knower, known, knowing, that all knowledge can never be away from a conscious being. It has to be knowledge abiding in a conscious being. The conscious being seen through, recognized through the all knowledge in the universe is Ishvara. I see myself as one with limited knowledge, limited capacities. What is limited is the means by which it is expressed. Each mind is limited, but it is the same consciousness that illumines this mind, what I call my mind, makes this body work, what I call my body, and it is the same all-knowing consciousness, same consciousness, but seen through every single thing in the universe is what we call Ishvara. So I start with a prayer unto the Lord in order to help me see that the individuality that I assume for myself is also an expression of Ishvara, and in reality I am that conscious being which is the truth, which is the only being of all that is here. With that prayer, we begin this meditation. Please go through the initial steps. First step is to unload people, situations that you carry in your head. Carry them because of some resistance, some anxiety, and we unload them by seeing that right now I'm just wanting to be with myself. It's an appointment with myself and with Ishvara. I don't need anything else except myself for this appointment. Therefore, I let everything go. Further, I recognize that everyone is the way they are because that is how they can be. Though I feel that they can be different, they cannot unless they choose to exercise their choice. Unless they want to change, no one can change them. I can pray for them, but it is wise for me to let go my insistence that they should change. Resisting a fact is not going to make a fact different. If I want the sun to be cool, it won't become cool. If I want the moon to become hot, it won't become hot. Let me drop such non-productive resistance to what is. One by one, visualize people, mainly people, sometimes situations that bother you, and with a prayer, you grant them the freedom to be in their own space. This is very important. This is what frees me to do a meditation. When I'm doing it on my own, I should have a time limit for it so that I'm not doing it all the way. I don't want to get engrossed in this thinking. I just want to quickly free them, unload them for the time being. Everyone who bothers you, normally not more than 2 or 3, unload them. Pray for them. I don't want to hate them. I don't want to avoid them. I want them to grow. I pray for them. I retain my love and my care. These are usually significant people in my life: my parents, my spouse, my children. I can't afford to alienate myself from them. I want to accept them as they are. In my acceptance of them as they are, I am able to let them be what they are. In letting them be what they are, I let myself be free. The key to my freedom is to let everything be. The sooner I recognize this, the better off I am. Attention is now shifted this body. Visualize the body part by part and be objective to each part. One can scan the body from top to bottom, and if one likes, again from bottom to top. This itself can be a process which is meditative. This is how this body is. Its looks, its complexion, its shape, its weight, its health, its gender. This is how this body is. Objectivity means I don't entertain a wish for it to have been different. I just am objective to how I perceive it. No prejudice. Attention is shifted now to the sense of touch. Be aware of the sense of touch. Between the upper and lower eyelids, gently touching each other. Between the lips, between the hands, between the fingers. See if you are able to even distinguish the fingers. That may not be possible. They all look fused. Entire attention is to the sense of touch. Hare Murare Madhukaitavhare Govinda Gopala Mukunda Shaure. Hearing takes place without my planning, without my wishing, without my willing. I recognize that. This is how the setup is. Hearing takes place. If the language is understood, the meanings occur again without willing. In knowledge, there is no willing. Knowledge takes place when the object of knowledge and the means of knowledge are aligned. Knowledge takes place. It does not depend on my will. Shastra knowledge is also like that. It does not depend on my will. My will remains suspended, and knowledge takes place. That's the only way it happens. I cannot wish for something to be the way I want it. It's not based on my will. I observe the mind with which I have been observing everything else with no intention to control, change, or modify anything. No judgment about whatever happens in the mind. Just, I want to be objective. I don't say, why did this thought come? Neither do I look for a thought. I don't go along with whatever is happening in the mind. I'm just an observer. Even in this, there is a subtle element of will, the will to pay attention. Subtler than doing, but there is a will involved. Now I drop that attempt too. The will has no purpose. I surrender. This is surrender. I surrender my free will. I drop my free will. Rather, the free will is dropped on its own without even my wishing, because it has no purpose. Hare Murari. Madhukaitabhari. Govinda Gopala Mukunda Shaure. With my will suspended, I am. Without doing anything, I am. This is who I really am. A basic person, conscious being with a given mind, body, and senses that I can use when I choose to. Right now, my will is suspended. Like a carpenter, who is a carpenter when he uses his tools, and when he closes the tool bag, he is just another person. Same way, right now, I am just a conscious being. And when I choose to use my will, I become a doer. When I know I am called a knower, I don't become actually, I'm called a knower. With reference to knowing, I'm called a knower. With reference to doing, I am called a doer. With reference to seeing, I am called a seer. With reference to any perceptive knowledge, generally, I am called an experiencer. I do nothing to experience. Experience happens. I'm not looking for another experience. Whole life is experiences. I want to know, what is it that makes me comfortable? If there is a comfortable experience. Am I comfortable right now? If I am, what makes me comfortable? Just being objective, just being non-demanding, just letting the world be makes me comfortable. That's the insight. That's the takeaway, not the experience. This non-demanding I will always be at ease, even when relating with the world. I enjoy the freedom to do or not do, to think or not think. Thoughts come, but I don't have to go along with them. I can break chain thinking. Chain thinking is habitual, linear chain thinking, where one thought jumps to another, and I don't even know what's the next thought. To free myself, to become aware of myself, not compelled to think compulsively, I now take up a mantra japa wherein I choose a thought which has to be repeated. Therefore, there is no possibility of a chain thinking. At the same time, it's a prayer, uttering the name of the Lord, Manasam Karma. When you do it at home, if it helps, you can chant loudly, gradually reducing it to Upamsu, quiet chanting, and then make it mental. Now, you make a sankalpa. Whatever your prayer is, why am I making this prayer? I'm committing myself to make a prayer with a purpose. My purpose is I want to know the Lord and abide in that Lord. Nothing but that. You can make a prayer for whatever you wish. And then, if it helps you, visualize an altar, place a flower, do a namaskara, and then begin the chanting. Whatever your mantra is. Om Namah Shivaya. Important is Namaha. Namaha means I'm totally objective, absolutely non-demanding. The prayer has already been made. Now it's just the chant, not trying to visualize anything. Don't try to visualize Ishvara in any form now. That's done. Now it's just the words being chanted mentally with the bhavana, a prayerfulness. If the meaning is known, it occurs in your mind automatically. No attempt to think. This is a process where there is no thinking involved. Just alertness to repeat the same thought with no intervening thoughts. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Chant. If you're feeling sleepy, wake yourself up. If the neck droops, it's a sign of sleep. Lift it up. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya chant. If the mind moves away, please bring it back happily, without judging, without frustration. Chant. If the mind moves away, bring it back. Be aware of the interval between the chants. That makes a difference. The interval is where a distraction creeps in. I should be very alert, aware of where one chant ends, and then I deliberately bring the next chant in, not mechanical. Number of times a chant is not important, the quality is more important. Stop chanting and just be. How do I appreciate Ishavasyam idam sarvam? In deep sleep, there is no subject-object perception because the mind is not operating. Then the mind awakens, just the mind. And in the mind, happens the dream. Visualize your dream. Think of a sun. There is sun. The sun comes with time and space. You don't do anything. Think of the earth. The earth is there. The way you think it. As a forest, as a pasture, the river with mountains, the scene you imagine is the dream. In this dream world, you visualize people, different kinds of people. You even see yourself sporting a body. People are wearing different dresses, different professions, different thoughts, emotions. All this in your dream. What is the mountain in your dream except your knowledge? What is the sun, the moon, the stars except your knowledge? What's the knowledge of the animals in your dream except your knowledge? What are the various people in your dream except your knowledge? There too, people eat food, the food gets digested and gives them energy. That order, even in your dream, is your knowledge. Is there anything in your dream which is outside your knowledge? Can you dream of something which is outside your knowledge? Your own body in a dream is your knowledge. Now, where are you located in your dream? Are you located in any given place in your dream? Are you located in any given time in your dream? You, the dreamer, do you have a location? Are you constrained in space? Are you constrained in time? Is there any object in your dream which is other than your knowledge? Is your knowledge ever away from you, the conscious being? Are you not manifesting as your dream, as dream space, as dream time, as dream people, as the emotions of dream people, as the ignorance of dream people, as the knowledge of dream people, as the illness of dream people, as the wellness of people in your dream, as the climate in your dream, as sukha and dukkha in your dream? Is there anything away from you? Can you say the whole world, dream world, is but you? If anyone in your dream asks you in the dream, or asks a guru in the dream, what is the reality of this world? And if that guru knew, what would he say? Drop the dream. This is what Ishvara is. All that is here is the knowledge of one conscious being, all knowing, nothing but knowledge. What I hear is the conscious being. I hear a snoring, that's the conscious being. No resistance to what is. What I hear does not affect me. Thoughts do not affect me, the conscious being. I am a conscious being all the way. There is nothing but a conscious being from whom the knowledge is inseparable. Chideva. And there is no being other than this conscious being. Is there a conscious being I know other than me? I am the only one who is conscious, and the whole world is an object of my consciousness, just like in dream. with this knowledge of Ishvara, now you chant your mantra. See if there's a difference. This understanding of Ishvara, see if it makes a difference, the quality of your chanting, to your engagement, your bhavana. I just don't want anything now. I'm just in awe of what is. No resistance. Namaha. Chant. Chant. Be aware of the gap. Chant. If the mind moves away, bring it back. Nothing is away from me. What do I need to resist? Namaha. I let Ishvara be. I let the world be. I let my own mind be. Shambho Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Mahadeva Mahadeva Shambho Mahadeva Shambho. You keep chanting. Shambho Mahadeva Shambho Shiva Shambho Mahadeva. Stop chanting. Maya tatamidam sarvam Jagadavyaktamurtina. This whole universe, which appears in my mind when I'm awake, is pervaded by me, the conscious being. In this mind, I can only see the knowledge here. I cannot see the whole world. But this consciousness, which is me, is what illumines every mind. every body, consciousness is one. Until I have this body, this mind, I cannot know more than what the mind brings. But I don't identify with this mind. I understand myself to be that consciousness in whose presence this mind shines. Mayi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. My whole world and the world of everybody is connected, held together like the beads in a necklace by the thread. In the same way, this Chaitanyam is what holds the whole universe together in the form of one Maha Order, manifesting as recognized by me as various orders, as laws of physics, laws of physiology, biology, psychology, law of karma, law of dharma. Law is knowledge, predictability. Knowledge is in a conscious being. That conscious being is conscious being is Chaitanyam, is which shines as evidence. Chidanandarupaha. Chit is highlighting that knowingness. Sat is highlighting the being. And Ananda is highlighting the limitlessness in which everything appears and disappears. I am the one who is, not beginning, not ending, not growing, nor declining. Unchanging presence, whole presence. Nothing is outside this presence. Purnoham, Anandoham. Joy is nothing but the fullness, where the seeker sought are merged. When I don't seek, there is no sought. I recognize I am that truth of both the seeker and the sought, even if they appear. Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I refuse to identify with what I have identified all my life. This body, this mind is Ishvara, Namarupatmaka, knowledge of Ishvara, non-separate from Chidanandarupa. Manobodhyahankara chittani naham. The mind, body and senses are not what I am. They all are me. They have no being apart from me. But I am free from them. They depend on me. They have their being in me. Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Satchidanandarupoham Ahamevaham avyayah. Asangoham. Even with the mind and body, I am uninvolved with their changes. Asangoham. I sustain them as the very being, conscious being. Asangoham punaf punaha. Again and again, I bring this knowledge gained by Ishavasyanidam Sarvam to my mind. Satchidananda Rupoham Ahamevaham avyayah. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi